Hey bitches, welcome to episode 21 of Roll for Girl Dinner, where we let the dice answer the age-old question, what should we have for dinner? Today we'll be using these dice because they remind me of water, and now that Girl Dinner is turning 21, she's gonna need some water. Now let's get started with a roll for protein. 9. Duchess. The Duchess has a pretty strong flavor, and it's a bit on the tangy side, so this is an interesting start to this meal. It might be a bit difficult to pair this with much, but it'll certainly make for an interesting meal. So let's get this on the plate. Next up, let's roll for some cheese. 6. Martetti Nebbiolo. Well, y'all already know how I feel about Martetti, and if you don't, I love them. That's how I feel. As far as I'm concerned, they can do no wrong. In their own words, this Nebbiolo has an intensely aromatic bouquet of roses, autumn undergrowth, wood smoke, and violets. Sounds a little pretentious, but I like it. Just kidding, Joe, I didn't mean to call you pretentious. Now let's roll for some vegetables. That's a 1 for no vegetable and a 5 for ancho. It's an odd day when there's no cherry tomatoes, radishes, or green beans. Even so, this is going to bring a little bit of a warm, smoky flavor and a little bit of spice to the plate. We're going to go ahead and measure this with precision because it is quite strong. On to the roll for carrier. 6. Glenmorangie 18. Have you ever purchased something just to make a point to a man who was being a douchebag? I have. This is going to bring even more warmth and smokiness to the plate and just a dash of smugness. Now let's add some Razzle Dazzle. That's going to be a 3 for Mango White Claw and a 13 for Cherry Truly. Oh boy, I hate White Claw, and I only have a double-size one. Who brought this? Who left this here? Why would they do that? I can only hope that we're going to roll for some sauce that will help cover up the flavor. On the other hand, I can see this cherry flavor working in a few different contexts. It does also help that Truly is significantly higher in quality, so this one will probably be helpful with creating some nice little bites. Now let's make it saucy with a roll for sauce. 4. Peppermint Twist. Fun fact about me, I don't like peppermint. So this is not exactly the sauce that I wanted, and it will do nothing to help improve that White Claw. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work with anything. On to the roll for sparkling water. 3. Beach Plum. Oh good, my favorite. This Girl Dinner was looking awfully dry, so it's good to have some to wash it down. And since it's Saturday, we get to roll for a silly little beverage. 3. Raging Bull. This is a cocktail we had one night at Cannon, and we liked it so much that the bartender wrote down the recipe for us. This bottle doesn't contain the cocktail, but I like it so much that I decided to show it. Now then, since this cocktail does contain the ancho liqueur, we're going to repurpose it for that. Because honestly, I'm not about to double that up because 1, I don't like sweet things. Though it's not actually that sweet, but it is a liqueur and whatever. I also need you to know that the rest of this that I am narrating is directly after filming this, so I am drunk. Anyway, this cocktail also includes scotch, mezcal, sweet vermouth, and some bitters. And it's good. If you live in Seattle, you should go to Cannon and you should order this. And if you don't live in Seattle, then you should move to Seattle. Where do you live? Wait, unless you live somewhere that has universal health care, in which case, stay there. That's better. Anyway, I also add my sparkling water as usual, blah, 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 we know. And then I'm gonna try and drink all the things. This beer is really good. I love the Duchess. It's so good. It's delicious. Sips, sips, sips all around. Everything is good except for this peppermint sucks and we hate White Claw. This scotch is elite. This wine is A+. I bought the scotch to piss off a man, so that was perfect. Long story short, I was playing this online game with a bunch of people where you have, guilds and shit like that, and this one dude kept insinuating that me drinking red wine was so lame, and no real man would drink red wine, and no southern man would drink red wine. Bitch, I've drunk red wine with so many southern men in my life, so fuck off. But also, then he was like, scotch is the only acceptable option, and you can't afford the scotch I like. And I was like, you weirdo, I'm an engineer. I can afford to buy the shop you work at, which is a lot of hubris on my part, but sometimes that happens. Anyway, so then he finally told me the scotch that he likes, and I bought that. And then I also found a bottle that was 10 times more expensive, and I bought that too, just to be bitch. So anyway, hypothetically, if I were Duchess Vesca von Holstenberger, who, was a Minotaur alchemist, super, Nepo baby, or just rich girl, whatever, who went to this really prestigious wizard academy to learn alchemy and did some partying, but rich people never get judged for that shit, so it's fine. I did it for science and for magic. The thing is I may or may not have made a concoction at one point that poisoned the son of a very prominent politician, and then as a result, my family may or may not have disowned me, which forced me into adventuring life. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, if I were her, this meal would be a perfect 10. As it is for me, Kendra, this meal is a 2. Tomorrow hurts already. Who needs a liver? Also, this series may be 21, but I am not.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner.